first let me say, thanks for inviting us into your home today.
Sure.
You have a beautiful home, by the way.
Thank you.
I noticed the wall of fame when I walked in. Grandbabies,
Oh,
children.
grandbabies and kids and their friends and so forth. And
How many grandchildren do you have?
2 grandchildren, both girls.
Both girls?
Yeah.
I have 2 grandchildren as well, they're both girls.
Well, good.
One's about 11, and the other one's not even, well, actually just about a year old now.
Well, our oldest is 15. Just got her driving permit.
Oh, Lord.
Look out.
Oh,
And then
Lord.
the other one's 10, coming up right behind her. One lives nearby and one lives in Virginia. The 10-year-old lives in Virginia. The 15-year-old, she lives about 2 miles down the road.
Now, you like me, it's good for them to come, and it's good for them to go.
That's exactly right. But you know, it's fun to spoil them and send them home to their parents.
Absolutely. I see, you're retired?
Retired for about 5 years now. Worked in the home improvement industry for about 28 years and decided to enjoy life.
Home improvement. Looks like you had a good career.
Yeah, sure did. And actually did a lot of work in the house here myself, or you know, my people.
Well, that's great. Well, before I take your whole day out, Randy, let me give you an idea of who we are and what all we do.
Okay.
I am going to cover that dental discount program that I spoke to you about at the door.
Right.
The dental, the vision, prescription medication.
So that's what caught my eye.
Absolutely. Before I get into all that, let me give you an idea of who we are and everything that we do.
Okay.
Now, we're affiliated with this outfit here called North American Senior Benefits.
Okay.
Now, their affiliates have been around since 1866. That's
Really?
a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, that's over 100 years.
It is
150 years, it looks like.
a long time.
Yeah.
You know, what Dad told me that you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you're not going to fool anyone that many times.
Not stay around for that long, you can't.
That's good, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. What happened to the
They must be
company?
doing something right to be along that long.
Absolutely. That's what I always say. They must be doing something right.
Right.
And what happened to the company was in '57, the company transitioned a bit. It started offering benefits to those who ordinarily couldn't get coverage.
Okay.
Age, health, resources. So we believe that if a family wants protection for themselves, they deserve the right to have it. That's good, isn't it?
That's real good.
Now, we are part of the Better Business Bureau,
Okay.
but Randy, I'm the first to admit.
I
that-
was too.
Yeah, I'm the first to admit that a lot of companies are part of the Better Business Bureau. But it's always surprised to me of how many companies that aren't a part of the Better Business Bureau.
Sure.
You know, when I was in school, you could write your name at the top of the page, so I've been told, and still get a D. So when I see companies that are not part of the Better Business Bureau, I ask myself questions like, what in the world are they doing not to be able to get at least a D? Companies like AARP, for example, we have our mailboxes filled with information not part of the Better Business Bureau.
AARP is not part of the Better Business Bureau.
Not part of the Better Business Bureau. There's many companies out there.
I get mail all the time from them.
A lot of things that come through the mail, they're not properly credentialed, to be quite honest with you. But, you know, I always joke with people. When I go into a restaurant, there's one thing I'm looking for as soon as I walk through those doors. Now, I know you're thinking like I was thinking, it's the bathroom. Now, that's,
rating.
That's the second thing I'm looking
Rating.
for. That's right, that's sanitation grade is what I'm looking for. Anything less than an A, I'm less than excited about eating there.
I agree. I wouldn't eat anything less than an egg.
But that's what I'm proud to let you know is that we have an A+ rating. And we get that A+ rating for one reason. Good customer service. In fact, you notice on my business card that I gave you earlier, there's something missing on that card that you have on every card you receive today. No toll-free number.
Oh, okay. That's good.
That's my cell phone.
Okay. So I'm not going to get some computer automation
No.
when I call.
We figure if you have a question, you call. If you don't have a question, you don't call.
Right.
So if you have a question and you call, just answer the phone.
Right.
And that's how we get that A+. That's good, isn't it?
That is real good.
Now these are my license. I like to point these licenses out for a couple of reasons, Randy. First and foremost, North Carolina, they don't play. They keep track of everything. You have to study hard to get these licenses, and even harder to keep these licenses. They do a criminal background check. I joke with people all the time, I think I could be hired by the FBI. I've been checked so many times. They do a financial worthiness check, a credit check, make sure that you're
A
financially
financial worthiness check.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. To get these licenses, they know everything about you.
So if you're a good guy, with no criminal record, but you don't have good credit, you can't get a license?
Chances are you will not be able to get licensed. Exactly. The state keeps track and monitors those sort of things.
Wow, is that just like a one-time check, or they,
No, every 2 years you have to renew your license, and you get checked over and over and over.
every
again.
2 years? Wow.
So the good news is that lets you know that North Carolina is protecting you and protecting me. Now, the second thing I like to point out is that it lets you know that I know a little bit about what I'm talking about as well.
Okay.
Because the test,
Because I don't know the first thing about insurance.
the test is not easy. So you have to have a good comprehensive working knowledge of everything that we're talking about.
Okay.
So that's good, isn't it?
That's real good.
Now, we try to help, if possible, with the top-rated state-regulated providers. Now, there are others that are in the network. We try to help with the top-rated state-regulated providers. And some of these others, nothing wrong with these companies. Some of them are quite expensive. Others offer 2-year waits on their programs. Some of them, you pay your money for a certain period of time. And
I've got a small one, New York Life.
Okay, yeah. Some of them, you pay for a certain time period and it stops. They keep your money and you have no coverage. Like I said, nothing wrong with these
Really?
companies. Some people like that sort of thing. But most people that I deal with, they prefer something permanent. You know, we help with companies like America. It's the largest independently owned company, insurance company in America.
Really?
Or Foresters, one of the largest in Canada, now doing business in America. Or Transamerica. You may have noticed this tall, pointy building.
Yeah, that's
landscape
the
of San Francisco.
pyramid building in San Francisco.
Absolutely. They own companies like Monumental and quite a few others. Now, Mutual of Omaha, Wild King.
Yeah, I get mail from them all, every other day. I get mail in the mailbox. From them.
Absolutely. Grew up watching Wild Kingdom.
Yep,
Yeah,
me too.
We were all Gerber babies.
Yep.
Yeah. So we try to have the top rated providers as opposed to some of the other guys. But that's good, isn't it?
That's really good.
Now, there's two types of people that do what we do, Randy. You have an agent and you have a broker. And this is the major difference right here. An agent, they have a contract with an agency.
What do you mean?
So what that means is this. Let's say the agent works for the agency. He works all week long. And at the end of the week, he comes to pick up his check. Now, this is a trick question, okay? The agent that works for the agency, he works all week long, does everything he's asked to do, and he comes back to the office on Friday afternoon to pick up his check. Now, the person who runs the agency or owns the agency, they sign the bottom of that check. So this is the trick question. He works all week, he comes back to get his check, and the person who owns it signs the check. Who is he loyal to? The person who signs his check or you?
If it were me, I'd be loyal to the guy that signs my check. I want to keep getting paid.
He better be, or he won't be working there very long, will he?
Right.
But that's exactly right. An agent works for an agency. But a broker, on the other hand, they do not work for an agency. They actually represent the client to carriers. Finally,
So who signs the broker's check?
the carriers take care of that.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So the broker has an obligation to the client to represent the client to the carriers, whereas an agent represents the carriers to the client.
Okay.
See, finally, someone looking out for the folk. That's
Right.
good, isn't it?
That's real good.
Now, agent also has limited company options.
What does that mean?
I joke that they're like Barney Fife. Got that one bullet. Got that one. Now, it might be the best they can do, but it may not be the best. See, I think everyone tries to do their very best, regardless of what agency they work for. They're doing their best. But sometimes our best just isn't good enough. But a broker, on the other hand, they have many companies to compare. They help people shop around. It's important to shop around this day and time. I mean, I can't imagine just looking at one thing and making a decision. Can you?
No.
No. So what a broker does is help you shop around and look at the various options that are available to you. Now, an agent also has restrictions on health qualifications.
What does that mean?
That means that sometimes you don't have a coverage at all. Sometimes they can't give you immediate coverage. Sometimes you pay for 2 whole years before the product that you have is actually enforced. In fact, if people get something through the mail, they sign up, or on the television, they sign up, they actually don't have coverage. What they have is a bill, because they're paying for 2 whole years before the policy is alive. People don't realize that.
Really?
That's right. Now, a broker, on the other hand, has a variety of products to meet the client's needs. What they do is help people shop around. There are literally hundreds of companies out there, and it's important to make sure you have the right company with the right product at the right price to meet your specific needs.
That's good.
That's very good. Now, an agent has limited support. Now, what I mean by that is this. This may have happened to you or someone that you know. You have a question, so you call the agency. And no offense to your wife or anyone else, but that lady answers the phone. If you could understand them, they act as if they have no idea of anything you're talking about. And around and around you go.
I hate it when I call an 800 number and I get somebody over in Asia somewhere. I can't understand.
Happens all the time. Well, they act like they have no idea of anything you're talking about. They have to send the man out. And the man comes out. And around you go. Before you know it, you're in a headlock, your arm is twisted behind your back, and we know what he's doing. He's trying to prevent you from making a decision. You know, when the time he leaves, you know less than you did when he got there. You know what I mean? Confusion. But a broker, on the other hand, they're appointed directly with the carriers to ensure accuracy and the lowest possible cost. That's good, isn't it?
That's real good.
They just stick for middlemen. So if you have a question, you call directly, and we make sure you get your answers. Now, agent also, they have limited assistance with other health needs. But a broker, on the other hand, they have lifelong products designed to financially better your client.
Well, let's go back to the limited assistance with health needs. And what does that mean, and how does a broker?
Sometimes they can't meet your needs at all. They have to walk away. But a broker has access to many companies that meets many needs on many fronts. And if they are not the particular person that can help you, they have immediate access to a trained professional that can get the answers and the benefits you need. That's good.
That's real good.
Now, agent also, Randy, before I say this is the most important thing I'm going to say today. If you haven't heard anything else I've said so far, please hear this. An agent, they have lifelong premiums. Their goal is once you buy a product from them,
They want you to pay for it forever.
for the rest of your life.
Who wants to do that?
Well, if you pay the rest of your life, you'd probably pay the company more money than the company would ever pay your beneficiary, your loved ones.
I heard that.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But now, a broker, on the other hand, they have paid up policy options.
I mean, I can pay on it, there's an end to the payments, and I still own it?
Eventually, you own it.
Well, that's
Their
really
goal is to catch you early enough and healthy enough and help you own it. So the trick question is this. If you had a choice between paying forever and owning it, which would you choose?
I'd rather own it.
Absolutely. In fact, many people who's had coverages many, many years, they actually own it and don't even know it. But let me ask you this. Why, if that's the case, why wouldn't your agent let you know that you owned it?
They don't get paid if you own it.
They work for the agency. Exactly. But a broker represents the client. Now I got one last trick question for you. Can you guess which one we are?
I hope you're a broker.
That's exactly it. That's exactly who we are. Okay? So let me ask you a couple of questions and see how we may be able to help you, okay? First off, presently, how much is your coverage costing you?
It's a little $5,000 policy. I took it out just a couple of years ago. I think it's somewhere around $38 a month.
That's not bad. And you say it's about $5,000?
Yeah, about $5,000.
That's not bad.
It's something, just a little small policy.
Now, by the way, what's the company? What company is it?
It's New York Life.
New York Life?
Yeah, I actually went through ARP.
Okay. They're part of the network. We may be able to help you. We'll see.
Okay.
Now, currently, the medications you're taking, you take for what purposes?
I'm diabetic.
Okay. Insulin or pill?
Both.
Insulin and pill.
Yep.
Now, what is your age again, Randy?
I'm 61.
61. And how long have you been diabetic?
For about 6 years.
Are you doing okay with it?
Yeah, doing good. It's controlled.
Okay. Any other medications?
I take blood pressure medication.
Blood pressure medication?
Yeah. And some cholesterol medication.
Cholesterol as well?
Yeah. And
Only one blood pressure medication?
One blood pressure medication, that's it.
What is that called?
It's called,
Lisinopril, maybe?
no, I used to be on lisinopril, I had
And
a reaction to
Lodipine?
it, and Lodipine, yeah.
And Lodipine,
Yeah,
okay.
and Lodipine.
And you take that every day?
Once a day, 10 milligrams.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Viagra once in a while.
Okay. Well, the reason I was asking is sometimes when you take those type of medications, some companies will not give you immediate coverage.
What do you mean?
Because of the medications, they put you in a 2-year wait.
Okay, all right.
We'll check and see what we can do. We'll check and see what we can do. What I'm going to do is, I have a pretty good idea of the direction I want to head. I want to call an account specialist right now, just to make sure I'm on the same sheet of music.
Okay.
And see what they have to say. In fact, while I do that, grab your medications real quick. Oh, and while you're up, grab that New York Life policy too. We'll look at it all at one time.
I can't find my medications, I don't know why I put them up somewhere, but there's the policy.
Okay. All right, at this point in time, we will stop and do an evaluation. I've already done the internet phone call. If you're in the first 30 to 45 days, that's what you do. You get them to that place with you have the medications and the policy in front of you, if possible. If they resist getting their medications or the policy, don't worry. Still do the internet phone call. And then your account specialist that's tethered to you to ensure your success will be able to pry that policy and those medications from them and then do a thorough evaluation.
He's going to explain what an internet phone call actually is.
The internet phone call, as you well know, the internet phone call is you have 3 account specialists that are tethered to you. And when you're in the home, your primary job the first 30 to 45 days is to simply do an effective presentation, somewhat similar to the one you just saw given. And then you're shooting a text out, a group text to those 3 account specialists, which happens to be your manager and his manager and their manager. And you're saying in and up, I-N and U-P. In, get in the house, and call up. One of them will say here. Whichever one says here, you call them. And when you call them, they're going to answer you and call you by name. For example, if I were to call in and up, someone would say here, and when they answered, I would have the phone immediately on speaker. Do not put it to your ear, have it on speaker. The reason being is this: if you have it to your ear, the client may or may not suspect that some type of secret communication is going back and forth. But if you have it immediately on speaker from the very beginning, it builds trust and confidence that you are being thorough, you're being accurate, and also you're being honest. So they hear exactly what you're saying. So the person who's going to answer the phone is going to say, yes, Mr. Thomas, or hello, Keith, how can I help you today, sir? And then I'm going to give them the scenario. I'm sitting here with Mr. Randall Neer, who's 61 years of age. He's diabetic. He takes insulin and a pill. He also takes blood pressure medication, amlodipine, and he takes a cholesterol pill. Other than that, he is in fairly good health. He also has a small $5,000 policy with AARP. I have a pretty good idea of how we can help him, but I just want to run this past you to make sure that we're on the same sheet of music. And then you listen. The account specialist will go through all and everything they need to take care of. They'll touch all the bases and check all the boxes and lead you to the point of making a sale. Man, cleaning my nose.